Hey guys, March 25th. Got in the creek with my wife this weekend, and she kind of sat up on the bank and read, and I looked for artifacts and came up with a few things here. I hope you guys are doing well, praying that you are. But I'll go over what I've got here. First thing I have here is this was one of the first things I found was this really old grinding stone here. But you can see where it was really taken off on the back side here. Got a fair amount of oil on it due to where they were holding it. Kind of tapered down on top also. And that's going to be your grinding surface there. But I think that's a pretty old piece. Pretty nice little example of a medium-sized grinding stone there. And this is what I would call a big hammer. This is a hand hammer. This piece was fairly well worked. This has all been pecked off and polished on most of this tool here. You can see the oil there from where it was being held on both sides here and here in the back. But I would assume they would use this just for general purpose hammering, anything that needed to be hammered, I'd guess, something this big. Don't think they did grains with it, although they may have nuts and grains. It's hard to say. There's a striking surface there. It's fairly worn, but actually a piece that was used quite a bit, I think. When you see all that oil, that means that they used it quite a bit. It's just big hand hammer. This gets to a Warren axe I found, and this is a really nice piece here. This is probably one of the better ones I've ever found. Just really shaped really nicely. It's real smooth and polished and pecked a lot. You can see where they've taken it off on the top when they worked this stone down here. But just a really nice piece, real well formed, very symmetrical. But that doesn't have any wear on it at all, and the Warren axes would normally not, because they weren't used every day. But be hafted like that, say would make a nice little Warren axe there. And this gets into some of the other axe heads that I have. I found this. This was in the other video that I did earlier. This isn't one I found this weekend, but yeah, it's an old piece, worn quite a bit. Got a fair amount of quartz in it, mixed with some granite. But this one was used, so I don't think it was a Warren axe, but you never know, possibly. If it had to be, I'm sure it would be. But what they would do is on this style here is that when they tapered them off real long and narrow back here on the back, normally they would insert this into a stick here, this back end into a large stick, and bind it on that way. And it'd be the same way with this one here. I don't think either one of these pieces were hafted. They were inserted pieces into a stick. And that's, like, again, that's the one that I found about a week ago. Here's another kind of interesting one here I found. Been taken off on the top here. Almost kind of boat shaped. But I think this piece was probably a hafted piece. And not sure if it's a Warren axe or not. It's got a little bit of wear on the tip, but probably hafted like that. Made out of granite. And here's one here. You may think maybe not, but it actually is. It's grooved in here pretty good groove right there down through that side. And you can see a little bit of the grooving in the back right in here too on that. So that's where that stone was you can see where it's pecked out in here. That's where it was hafted at, right in there. Fair amount of wear on it. That's primarily, I would say, is quartzite for the most part. I don't think it's granite. Got a fair amount of wear on the edge there. But yeah, that's the groove right in there. You can see where it's been all pecked out in there. And then on that side too. But wasn't used a whole lot. And worked off on the bottom there. And this gets kind of into, I'm not really sure, but this is a granite piece, a soft granite piece. I've got some other pieces that are shaped similar like this, and I don't know what this would have been actually used for, to be honest with you. But I have several that are several pieces that are almost identical in shape. This is an old, pretty worn piece. Could have been some kind of worn axe. Not real sure. But all been worked on the bottom there. Right in through here. It's all chipped out right in here. And this one I'm a little stumped on also, but it's got a lot of mica content in it. It's granite with a lot of mica content. But it's almost like a spoon-shaped kind of piece. It's really worn right in here on this end here on both sides. It's been all worked off here. This side here also. Anybody's guess, let me know. But it definitely a work piece. Possibly could have been something like a seed planter or maybe some kind of spoon. I don't know. It's pretty though. It's got that mica in it. Here's another kind of unknown piece. It's been worked quite a bit. This whole top is just, it's been all polished. The whole stone's been polished. And on the top there, it's almost like finger grooves in it up there. But maybe this was a pecking stone. It could have been held like that, maybe. Somewhere there on the tip. You see all the grooves in it. Polished a lot of polishing done on that stone. Here's a spoke shave, a big one. It's made of granite. So what they would do is run, this looks like something maybe for spear shafts, maybe even for poles. But this was used quite a bit. It's really worn in here. So they would run those wooden shafts through there to debark them and take the knots off of them. But that's what that tool was used for. And a braider, some people can call them abraders, but this particular style they normally call like a spoke shave. But pretty nice example of one though, big one. Got some pecking on the back. And this is that dual material, and I'm not sure about whether what this was, or even if it was an artifact or not. But I just thought it was kind of interesting looking at it. It's got that dual material. I'll tell you, if you see it, you need to pick it up and check it out. But I can't say for sure this was actually used for anything, because it just doesn't. I just can't figure this one out. So it looks like there's places that's been worked on it, but I just thought it was pretty neat looking, so I picked it up. Checked it out really good, and I'm still kind of stumped on this one, whether it's anything or not. And this gets to a really big piece of mica, similar to that ceremonial piece that I found, the same kind of material. I say it's mica. It's pretty heavy. It's pretty dense, and I don't know if this is just a piece of stock or an actual was formed this way. You know, this thing couldn't have been used for any kind of blade or anything. It's just too soft a material. But, you know, it could have been a ceremonial piece also, or just a piece of stock that they would work down, you know, a piece of preform or something that they would work into something else. But I'm not real sure. But it's pretty. Pretty stuff. Big piece. And here's another dual material stone. This is a hide conditioner. Really pretty piece here. It's got the quartz and that black stone, which is just, I love it. It's just got so much crystalline material in it. You can see the oils from the thumbs and the fingers on both sides here where they would hold it. And the edge is too blunt to be a scraper, really. I'm pretty sure that was a hide conditioner. Nice piece. And here's another, I think this is like just a polishing stone. It's a black stone. It's really, you know, it's really smoothed off here. I think they might have used that to polish pottery down. But there's the edge right there that I think they would use for the most part. Probably use it all the way around it, but that looks like the edge that they use the most. Pretty piece. That's what I got for today. Had about 4 inches of rain last night, so I don't know how long it's going to take for the creek to get back down again, but maybe by this weekend it'll be down and I can get back in it again and come up with some more stuff to look at. But that's what I got for today. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Stay healthy and safe.